Going on, Jerome? It's beautiful Monday. Birds are tripping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. Now, the Vikings got it done against the Raiders. Now, obviously, it's preseason, scores don't matter, but it's kind of nice to get a W, as well as a lot of the key players for the future. Justin Jefferson always looks good on the sideline, but J. McCarthy, Diamond Dallas Turner, Sam Darnold looking good, and a lot of guys rose. A couple guys fell, but it is what it is, and the Vikings, 2 first-round picks, look very, very damn good. I mean, future is bright. And also, again, like we said before, McCarthy, I think we got one. I think we have a future franchise quarterback, and we're good to go. So there you go. Also, good to go is thank you everyone who tuned into the live stream. Now, I made a dumb mistake yesterday because I only live streamed the first half because then I had obligations, but then McCarthy blew up in the second half. Yeah, but we're going to live stream the Browns and the Eagles game. We're going to live stream, do some Q&A, basically just make observations, kind of fun. And also during the month of August, all Venmos, Cash Apps, Super Chats will be donated to Every Meal Twin Cities. Great charity here in the Twin Cities, helps fill in some of the food insecurities for kids in the great state of Minnesota. Was awesome fundraising during the draft. We got a goal of 1509. We're about a third of the way there. Oh, we're a third of the way there after the first live stream. So I thank you everyone who has pitched in. You guys really are the best. Let's go crush this thing, man. Also, before the game, the Vikings did an amazing thing, honoring the memory of Kyrie Jackson. Tragically passed away in July, and yeah, just like a really tough situation. Like you could tell, a lot of the players like really took to Kyrie in the short amount of time that they were teammates. But one of his longer term teammates, Diamond Dallas Turner, 2 years together in Alabama, and he's definitely worn his emotions on his sleeve. He's definitely put up the tributes to Kyrie, and he's dedicated the season to him, and it's fantastic. It's really, really good to see. And plus, you see the caliber of Kyrie and how he's remembered. He's loved, he's beloved, and everything. And the Vikings had Jackson's family as honorary captains on Saturday. And, yeah, just really great moment of a really tough situation for the game. So, yes, lost in the soup. Sam Darnold looked good. On the opening drive, moved the Vikings offense, distributed the rock mainly to Jalen Speedy Naylor, also had a great conversion, was really synced up with Jordan Addison, and, I think that Darnold is still probably going to be quarterback one. I think that McCarthy, despite his very impressive preseason debut, has a bit of a ways to go, but the future is bright, but I think Darnold could be the present for this season. Now, am I ready to say that he's going to start every single game, not injury related? I don't know. Not ready to say that. Like, could he just be benched because they feel like McCarthy's ready? And it may not even be through any fault of Darnold's own, where Darnold could look good or he could look slightly above average, and then they're just like, let's just make a change. It's possible, man, because I mean, the future's bright. McCarthy's only 21 years young. He's absorbed this offense. It looks like the perfect fit for him. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's decisive, and he's just got that moxie and leadership and confidence, man. He's got everything, right? So I understand those Vikings fans are always like snarky and looking for the negatives and things, but it's okay. It's okay to feel pretty good about the way that McCarthy looked in his first preseason game. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, it was mainly against the twos in the second half when he really showed up and showed out. Yes, he struggled a bit in the first half against the ones. Yes, he did throw a bad pick to Jack Jones. But the way that he bounced back, placement on some of them balls, just the moxie of making some of the plays, you got to feel good, right? And the court of public opinion, a lot of former quarterbacks, a lot of analysts, agree that McCarthy looked pretty damn good. Chase Daniel, former Vikings killer, by the way, we never beat Chase Daniel. J.J. McCarthy may have had the best rookie quarterback debut. This breakdown will be fun. A dude can play. And went through a clip of his touchdown to Tristan Jackson. Now, a lot of people are going to cream in their jeans over Caleb Williams' debut. I mean, Caleb Williams is playing with the ones against the ones in Buffalo. Understand it. Led 2 field goal drives, but we'll see. I would love if it's a debate for many years to come, who's the better quarterback in the division, J.J. McCarthy or Caleb Williams. And I've said this before, like Caleb Williams, as a quasi-USC fan, watch every single snap of Caleb Williams in L.A. And he's either going to be the best quarterback in the league besides Mahomes, or he's going to be out of the league in 5 years. Like there's really no middle ground, because Williams had to play hero ball last year because USC's defense was so poopy. Also, he didn't have the same weapons as he did the year before when he had Addison. So he had to try everything, right? And that can work, that could not work in the NFL. But again, he's either going to be the best or he's going to be out. Like there's no in between. Like there isn't a world where he just becomes like Ryan Tannehill or Andy Dalton in their prime. That is not going to happen. So, I mean, it's a roll of the dice, man. It's going to be kind of fun. There you go. Also, Ben Kurt, former Packers jabroni, by the way, just watched J.J. McCarthy's passes. He looked really dialed in and like he has a great grasp with the offense already. Super accurate on third downs, which he knew he was coming out of college. I also loved his escapability on display and how well it translated in his first action. He also did a hell of a job pushing the ball downfield with accuracy, which he was not asked to do a whole lot at Michigan. Great day, and should have Vikings fans excited for the future. And again, Ben Kurt, pretty damn solid analyst. His work is very respected, and I mean, like I said, it's okay. It is a-okay, not him, to feel good about J.J. McCarthy, right? And yeah, he could follow this up with a turd of a performance against the Browns. He could look bad in joint practices. He could look bad against the Eagles. I mean, that certainly does happen. That's a roller coaster with a rookie, but as of right now, sample size, training camp, had a couple bad practices, bounced back, had an interception in his first preseason game, bounced back, and there's a lot to like. But so this is weird. So this is a write-up from Kevin Seifert, who's not Carl Gershman. Now, I understand Seifert doesn't have to be rah-rah sis boom bah. Like, he doesn't work for the team. He's not PR. He's a journalist, big J journalist, right? But this one doth protest too much. Vikings 24, Raiders 23. Vikings, look out. The J.J. McCarthy hype meter is about to go into overdrive. In his professional debut, the Vikings rookie quarterback threw a pair of long third-quarter touchdown passes, one 45 yards Tristan Jackson in single coverage. He beat single coverage, congratulations. And another of 33 yards to Trent Sherfield Sr. against a busted coverage. He didn't really beat coverage with his arm. He beat a single coverage and busted coverage, that's all. In the public sphere, these scores will surely overshadow the interception he threw to end his first possession, as well as a few other shaky passes. Hey, ignore the touchdowns. Ignore the perfect placement on both of those deep balls. Just see that he threw an interception to Jack Jones, who's a stud, as well as a couple other shaky passes. Whatever, man. I literally just call a spade a spade. Like, hey, it's preseason. He looked good. He looked kind of bad at times. But overall, it's in general, like, it's a net positive. I mean, you just say that. Literally, you can just say that, man. It's all right. Also, Diamond Dallas Turner got after things, had a sack on third down, had a myriad of pressures, showed off like several pass rushing moves. Like, he had the power, he had the bull, he had the dip, he had the dip and rip, he had the spin, he had the Dwight Freeney spin move out there, man. Like, he's got a bag of tricks. I'm fired. Also, Jihad Ward looked really good. Mr. Inside Outside versatility. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be really, really good. Also good was, so I didn't know how the segment of Justin Jefferson being mic'd up in the third quarter was going to go. It felt like, a preseason sort of hokey thing. And, was this going to be a train wreck? Would, PA and Bursich, who's my neighbor, my leaf blower back, were they going to talk over Jefferson, or how was this going to mesh? Also, Ben Lieber was in the booth too, but it was kind of awesome. Like JJ off on the side, in and out of breaks, just like being hyped. Plus, they caught his pure reaction to the McCarthy touchdowns. Plus, hyped up for his guy, Tristan Jackson. It was great, man. It was absolutely great. Plus, it really does show like how dialed in Jefferson is, because preseason games, a lot of stars are just on the bench. They either got to dip in, or they love sunflower seeds and they're just really disinterested. But Jefferson was dialed in. Like, he was engaged, he was hyped, and he was just like in. Like, he was fully in. And even if he wasn't mic'd up, I think that he would have been exactly the same. I mean, that's what he was last year when he was up on blocks with his injury. But I mean, that's the leader, that's the captain, that's the tone setter. Love it, man. Also, speaking of setting tones, so Will Rockford, first preseason game, one game-winning kick. And yeah, 38-yarder, but guess what? Gary Anderson missed one from that far, too. Laugh through the pain. But even though it's preseason and even though the stadium was half full at that point, like, hey, it's still a game-winning kick in the National Football League. Will Rackard is going to be that dude. Also that dude. So Jalen Speedy Naylor had a great day. A couple of nice catches from Darnold, as well as not the first, but one of the first McCarthy balls over the middle as well. But Kevin O'Connell been has had very high praise for Naylor. Naylor's been putting in that work, and it has been showing. O'Connell definitely shouted out Naylor, and Naylor responded by saying, "Stacking days," praying emoji, purple heart. Right. And I do think that Naylor will end up as the Vikings wide receiver 3. I like Brandon Powell a lot, and he will have a role, but I do think that Speedy Naylor will be that wide receiver 3. Someone who could be cornerback 1 is Stephon Gilmore. Now, the Vikings secondary was a little bit rough on Saturday, but as we said, I think that's part and parcel of Flores just sort of sitting on his hands and not dialing up the blitz and not unleashing the Kraken, which is certainly going to help the corners, right? But Josina Anderson, news, free agent cornerback Stephon Gilmore tells me he's flying out on Sunday to visit with the Vikings on Monday. Now, Gilmore started for the Cowboys last year. He was solid. Was he Stephon Gilmore of 2019 when he was Defensive Player of the Year? No, he's not. But PFF grade-wise, was he better than any cornerback on the Vikings last year? Yes. Yes, he also was. And yeah, he had 2 years of crossover with Flo. He knows what role he's going to be asked to play. Outside, corner, press man. He's going to be a rich man's version of Fabian Moreau, just coming on in. Been on several teams, but been highly paid and highly sought after and always starting on every single team. And I think that adding Gilmore to this mix, could potentially push the Vikings defense over the top and just suturing things up. And once Flores is allowed to blitz, and you got Gilmore in coverage with Murph and Shaq Griffin when he gets back, and Caleb Evans, Dwight McLaughlin, gonna be good to go, man. Gonna be good to go, baby. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Beautiful Sunday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.